Hey guys, it's Maymay, and it's time to make a Father's Day card, and I'm going to use my brother's scan and cut for this with an SVG file. This SVG file actually comes to me from my friend Christopher Allen of Brutus Monroe, and this card he designed is so stinking cute. Now, if you're interested in this little card, you can get this SVG file from his website, brutusmonroe.com. I'll be sure to link it below. It's only 99 cents. It's the cutest thing ever. So to get started with this, I downloaded the SVG file from Christopher's store and I headed over to Scan and Cut Canvas, which is the software for the Brother Scan and Cut. It's a free software. I'm going to start by uploading the SVG using this little SVG button right here. I'll go choose the file from my computer, which will be in my downloads. It's right there at the very first one. It's the dad card, and I'm going to insert it and then tell it OK. Now when we insert the SVG, everything comes in, but you can't see everything because the Scan and Cut does not import things in color. Everything here is in black. So I'm going to have to do a little finagling and moving some things around for you to see what is actually on the mat. If you'll notice the two rectangles on the right-hand side of the mat, there's actually two there. It looks like it's only one, but I'll show you when I start to click on it that there's two. There's a base mat for the inside of the card, and then there's a mat feature for the inside of the card as well. So I'm going to click on the one here in the middle, and you see that's the smaller one, and then there's the larger one. Since these are just rectangles, and I can cut this with my paper trimmer, I don't really know how I'm going to do the inside of the card yet anyway. I'm just going to delete these. I don't need them, and they'll save up some room on the mat for me. Now, one thing about the Brother Scan and Cut is it only works one mat at a time. It's not like your Design Space program, where if there's something that doesn't fit on this mat, it'll sling it over to another mat. It doesn't work like that. This one, you get one mat, and that's all you can work with. Otherwise, you've got to break your SVG apart and do it in separate mats, kind of by hand. Now, notice when I moved that card base over, it revealed another little image back there. There's actually 3 images back there. 2 basic ones, but there's really 3, so check this out. That little piece there is the piece that goes behind the dad word, so it's what you'd see through the letters of dad. So I move that out of the way, and then you want to be real careful in this area. This little line is a score line. Now my Brother Scan and Cut doesn't have a score tool, so I can't score it with the Brother Scan and Cut machine. So I'm just going to delete that. I don't need it. Now watch what happens. I'm going to slide this dad away so you can kind of see how they're not connected. Notice how the insides of the letters stayed here. We don't want that to happen. So I'm going to click the undo button, and I'm going to grab these guys and I'm going to group them to hold them all together. But when I try to do this, it selects the card base too. So I'm just going to move it out of the way for a second while I go back, grab all of that, and then head up to the edit option, and we'll click group. And that'll group that together, so now I can put it anywhere I want on the mat, and when I go to cut it, it'll all be together. So I just brought the card base back over. Now that's not it. There's still a couple more layers, and it has to do with those glasses at the bottom. Now I want those glasses to be a part of the card as well, but cut like a layer to lay on top of the card base. So these guys right here are made so if you want to cut out some acetate or some funny, cute looking, maybe silver reflective cardstock, you could put that in there if you wanted. But I'm going to delete them because I'm not going to use them for this. So I'm just going to click on them and delete those. Now I do want to cut those glasses, and I'm going to make sure that they are the same, which they are. I've not resized anything, but that's where they'll sit when they're done. Now I'm just going to move things around on the mat to make sure I have room for when we go to cut it. Make sure everything can kind of wiggle in there. Now this piece, it's a little too large for me to put it right beside the card base, so I'm going to rotate it and make it stand up instead of being sideways. And that way I know I have plenty of room on my mat for everything to get cut. So I'll just grab the little handle at the top and twist it and put it into that space there. Now I will tell you that the Brother Scan and Cut canvas is a little clunkier than what you're used to as far as user-friendly technology. It's got a little ways to go. You can get the job done here, but you have to do a little more than we're used to doing, I think, with some of our other softwares that are out there. What I'm doing at this point is just moving everything around and giving myself plenty of room to add my cardstocks to the mat. Now, once I have this where I want it, I have to download this onto my computer and save it. So I'm going to click download. It will go into my downloads. Now I have an option here. I can save it straight to my computer, which is what I'm going to do. Or If you have the air card for your brother's Scan and Cut, you can save it over Wi-Fi to it that way. But I don't have that. I'm just going to save it straight to my computer. Now, mine is a Mac, and even though this says PC, it works just the same. So now I'll find that file in my downloads. So now that I've opened my download folder, you can see right next to my original SVG is the file we just created. And I can rename this file just by clicking there on the word at the bottom, highlighting it, and changing the name. Now with the Brother Scan and Cut, we have to take this file to the machine. You can do this in a couple ways. The way I'm going to do it tonight is I'm going to take a USB drive or a jump drive or a thumb drive. There's lots of names for them. But I'm just going to use a little external drive and move this file into that drive to take it to the Brother Scan and Cut. You can also do it with that wireless card, which I don't have, and hopefully I'll get soon so I can show you how to do that. But for now, let me show you how to do it with the wireless or the little USB drive. So now that I have my USB plugged into the computer, you can see that it's listed here as no name in my devices. I can then save this file into that USB. So all I have to do is click on the file itself, hold down the click as I drag it over to that name and hover over it, and it highlights it. And then when I release my mouse, it drops it into that USB for me. So now it is saved there. Now that's how I do it on my Mac. If you're on a PC, I think you can do it exactly the same, or you can right click and tell it to save there. Now all I need to do is take that little USB to my Brother Scan and Cut, load the card in, and we are ready to go. So here we're looking at the side of my machine, and this is my jump drive. Mine is actually a bracelet. Yours may not be, but this is the jump drive I'm using. I'm going to insert this into my USB port, which is right here, and that will then move that information into the machine. So now you can see we have the screen showing, and what I'm going to do at this point is click Pattern. When I click Pattern, I want to tell it Saved Data, because that's where we're going, to My Saved Data. See this little thing here? This is your USB. We don't have it saved into our Scan and Cut. I don't have it plugged in to my laptop. I have it in my USB. So I'm just going to click USB port, and then there's our dad card right there. I'm going to click that, and it pulls it up just like we left it on our Scan and Cut mat, ready to go for us to cut it. So all we need to do is load our papers onto our mat, load the mat in, and tell the machine to cut. Now I've taken my mat and I've loaded cardstock in the four corners of the mat. But these guys aren't in the four corners. I want to be sure it's going to cut on the cardstock I have on my mat. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to click OK. Now I can maneuver these guys around, and I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to take this one and move it up into the far corner as far as I can move it. I'm going to make sure this is as far up and over as it can go. I'm going to move this guy down as far up and over as it can go, and then I'm going to move this guy as far over as I can. And that way, I can get them on all of the papers that I have lined out on my mat, and we should be able to get a perfect cut. So now, make sure your blade depth is set correctly. I set mine to 6 for cardstock, and we're ready to go. I'm going to say, okay, cut, and start. Now we still need to score this one because we weren't able to score it in the Scan and Cut canvas. We had to take that score line away. So I'm just going to place this into my Martha Stewart scoreboard, and I'm going to score it at 4 inches. Now this is not your traditional size card. It's going to be a little bit wider than 6 inches because of these little tabs here, but you can always make your own envelope for it if you need to, but it's super cute. I think it's one that you could just hand Dad and you don't even need an envelope. I think those are cute cards. All right, so I've got this scored and folded, and let me crease this down with my bone folder to get a nice crisp score, just like that. And then we can start assembling. Now this piece goes right on top, just like this. And I'm gonna line it up. Matter of fact, let me open this so you can see where I'm lining it up. You can see this little black little cutout. I'm gonna line it up right at the top, just like that. And it leaves us with a tiny little border on either side, and that is super cute. So I'm going to glue that down just like that on the front of the card. I'm just going to use some art glitter glue because it's quick and easy. And then I'm going to line it up on that line first and then side to side. Now I'm going to do a little bit of a dry run. I want to place the glasses first. I want them to be on top of that piece we just put down so you can see the full set of glasses. Isn't that cute how that kind of curves right there? I want to be able to see that, but I also want to see where our dad sentiment will go and make sure we have plenty of room. And we do, plenty of room. Now you have a couple of options with the dad sentiment. You can use this and put the little center pieces down, which is what I'm going to do, or you can just use the letters that cut out and just put dad on your card, which is also super cute, depending on how you want to do it. But I'm going to do it the other way because I think that'll be cute too. So now let's put some glue on our glasses and glue them down. These glasses are so cute. I could see me using this file just for these glasses because I think these are adorable. I want to bling them up and make them very girly, just like making them very manly. So I cut mine with some wood grain paper, kind of a distressed wood grain. I thought it would make it kind of look like a tortoise shell or something like that, but you can do that any old way you want. Maybe dad has a favorite color. Maybe he has a specific pair of glasses that he wears that are a certain color. That'd be cute if you could match those up. That would be super cute. So just get that glued down, get the extra glue off of my work surface here. Isn't that cute? Oh my goodness, I love it. Okay, now let's add our dad outline. Now, if you're gonna do the outline like I did, you wanna make sure that you save those little cutout pieces that make the rest of the letters look like they're supposed to look. You don't wanna cut all of those away. Then I'm just gonna center dad at the top. Just like that. And I'm going to place these little center pieces into the letters so that dad, the word dad, will appear. Right now it just looks a little sloppy. Let me get my tweezers. I think that will help to place these guys. I'm just going to put that down. And there's our D. Now I'm looking at these cutout letters to decide where my other little pieces go and how they go. So this is the D. It goes right there. I'm just going to put a little glue here. Use my tweezers again. And just drop that into place. Just like so. I'm playing with pattern on pattern. I'm enjoying that lately. It's not always my favorite, but I really think it's cute to have like the plaid and the houndstooth. It's very dad. So there's the front of our card done. How cute is that, right? Now let's work on the inside. So the inside portion of my card is 4 by 6 inches. And I want to cover the entire piece so that my glasses really pop on the front of the card. Now you can cut the matte pieces that come with the SVG and you'll have 2 little mats to put in here. But I'm going to do this one piece and I want to stamp on it. And I'm going to use my new Mini Misty. I love this little guy. I'm going to just place my cardstock into the Mini Misty and put the magnets down to hold it. And then we're going to place the sentiment. I'm using the sentiment that says Happy Father's Day, and it is from my stamp set called Happy, which is available in my store. And speaking of, we are now carrying the Mini Misty in our store, but it is currently sold out. I said we were carrying it on Facebook and on Periscope, and it sold out in like 25 minutes. It is gone right now, but we are ordering more, so they'll be back super quick. I'm going to use a Memento ink color called Espresso Truffle. I'm really into this tone-on-tone stamping right now. It's just one of those things. You know how we go through phases, and that's kind of my thing right now. So I'm going to do this and see how it looks on this paper or this cardstock. So we'll just stamp Happy Father's Day just like that. And the cool thing about the Misty, if you've never used one before, if you do this and you make a mistake, you can just stamp right in the same spot again because it's still on the acrylic. And actually, I'm going to do it one more time because I am doing kind of tone on tone. I want it to be a little darker than I got it. So I'm going to ink it one more time and lay this guy down and get a perfect image. Just like that. Perfect. I love it. All right, so now this guy is ready to go inside our card. So there you go, guys. That's my Father's Day card. I think it is adorable, and I want to say a big thank you to Christopher of Brutus Monroe for allowing me to use this file and show you guys how it works in your Scan and Cut. Now, if you're interested in this file, I'll leave a link below. It's only 99 cents and you can throw this card together for Dad so fast. I hope you guys have a blessed Father's Day weekend, and if any card you're making for Dad, we want to see it. Head over to our Facebook group called Maymay Made It, and so did I, and share with us what you're making for Dad this year or any project you're doing. We love the inspiration. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.